Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. All right, let's have a quick read through the whole bit here. We call it learning to fight through exercise. Wow. Learning to fight through exercise. Excellent. Dangerous Waters MMA already off to a good start. Okay, our training program provides an excellent opportunity to build your basic martial arts skills, physical fitness and confidence while minimizing the risk of injury. It's just this guy. This guy. Sorry, team. So, by concentrating on their physical development and minimizing and confidence while minimizing the risk of injury. Yeah, well, I mean, you can easily minimize the risk of injury when your techniques are soft as hell, but anyway. By concentrating on their physical development, muscle coordination, and minimizing their risk of injury from sparring, we believe students will not be discouraged by overwhelming workouts and injuries and will gain confidence in their abilities and in them over time. Terrible English. We already know he's got terrible English, but where you're going to improve physical fitness by concentrating on physical development, muscle coordination, but not provide overwhelming workouts. And yeah, okay. The training is a compilation of drills learned through the years practicing a variety of different marital arts. Woo! The bedroom. Anyway, boxing, judo, jiu-jitsu, spelt the Japanese way, wrestling, Greek pancration. Oh, that self-defense trainer is a marital art. Sambo, Muay Thai, Kempo Karate, and Aikido. Right. We promote executing each technique properly and with control, whether it is a punch, kick, hold down, choke, arm bars. Hold down would be a pin, wouldn't it? I mean, as a apparent judo instructor, keep in mind I'm going to be following up on your claims here, Tim. By doing the techniques properly, the student demonstrates that they are in control. They are in control of what they are doing at the moment. An accurate punch or kick or even throw will be effortless for them once they master the techniques. But throwing punches like a haymaker just wastes a lot of energy. Well, we've already seen what kind of arm punches you guys do. So one might be lucky against someone unskilled, but a skilled fighter would take out the haymaker in one punch to the head. Without the proper technique, you're wasting a lot of power and speed and could be letting yourself open for an easy counterattack. I mean, this just reads like someone, what's the word? Like LARPing martial arts. We also promote safety in our workouts with our students. We reinforce a need for our students to relax and not tense up, which makes it difficult to move and react and quickly, and not tense up, which, okay. Really bad English. So we reinforce the need for our students to relax. Full stop and or fucking semicolon. Yeah. And not tense up, which makes it difficult. You need to break that up. Because that sounds like we reinforce the need for our students to relax, which makes it difficult to move and react quickly and uses excess energy. We constantly reinforce the idea that the student should concentrate on what they have to do, take the initiative and attack. One student has no control on the actions of their opponent. We train students to look out for the opening to attack. Keep your opponent off balance and then attack. Right now, he seems very nervous and extremely tense. When have we gone into a fucking a fantasy scenario? Everyone should notice calmness about him in a few months. What are you talking about? Daily repetitive exercise routines condition students in various martial arts movements: judo, jiu-jitsu, boxing, and Muay Thai. These exercises will train their muscle reflexes for striking, grappling, throwing, and kicking. Literally, these exercises will train them to fight without actual constant sparring or fighting, and minimize your risk of injury. Red flag! Over time, the student's balance, coordination, and technique will also improve through these exercises. Look, I'll tell you right now that the striking that our good friend Jess here was doing on Bob, the sparring dummy, were terrible. Like, as a striker, other than his clearly Taekwondo-based kicking, which even then wasn't particularly impressive, if that's all you're really doing for your striking and not really sparring constantly, you're never going to get better. Jess, you're never going to get better, bro. Just telling you. Over time, the student's balance. They may seem repetitive and routine. That's obvious because practice is doing the same thing over and over again until you have mastered it. Of course. We're building skills, strength, and balance. See, here's the thing, right? They may seem repetitive and routine. That's obvious because practice is doing the same until you have mastered it. But you can't master a martial arts technique an effective martial arts technique without sparring. It's impossible. Because all you're doing, if you aren't sparring, which is fully resisting opponent, all you're doing is training for a particular movement. Doesn't train timing, doesn't train for different weights, heights, all that different thing. It's just training your body to do one thing, right? That's the difference between if someone is just a pure kata practitioner versus someone that does the kumite practitioner, right? Someone that does hard sparring versus someone that just punches a bag. If you just punch a bag, or you just punch pads, even if you are really fucking quick at punching pads, the moment that you get in the ring with someone, you have to adapt to that person. You can be really good at pad work and it can help a lot, but without sparring and consistent sparring as well, you can't just be thrown in. I mean, the way this is written, literally, these exercises will train them to fight without actual constant sparring or fighting. I don't know what that means. I want to see. I'd be keen to find out how often they do spar, because it's, like, you need to be sparring is the bottom line. Every boxing, every Muay Thai, there's an element of sparring, like of live resistance, and then you'll have once a week at least, hard sparring, which is full resistance. Let's go. So we're building skills through strength, through practice and repetitive exercises. Repetitive, like this fucking whole shindig. Jesus Christ. You build on your skills gradually by mastering the fundamentals first. It's become a reflex and part of your muscle memory. Okay. We're also eliminating the fear factor gradually. Or in other words, oh my God, we're building their confidence in their skills and fighting skills. In their fitness and fighting skills. We're molding a person who has very little knowledge of mixed martial arts except for watching fights on TV and taking a few lessons with a few instructors for a short time. But they might have come away with the feeling that they had not learned anything valuable. Nothing really stuck. Did they really remember the techniques? Can they do it with full confidence? Can they execute the technique without hesitation and correctly? Patience and timing. Talker versus doer. It's from a movie. I don't know. They haven't said anything on it, so I can't assume that they didn't know. So every training session might have been different. A different technique might have been taught every week, but it might be weeks, months, or another year before you practice that technique again. Yes, okay. This is a really good point. When we get taught something, it does take another 6 to 12 months before that rotation comes back in. And I find that it's actually beneficial that way, because you get a deep dive into these techniques, and when it rolls around, like what used to happen to me is I would test out a technique and it wouldn't work, and I'd be like, oh, well, it's not going to work for me, and I wouldn't use it. A couple of times around the sun later, and I've seen it a few times, and it starts working for me because I picked up details that I didn't see through my white belt eyes. I then started picking up more through my white belt eyes, then through my blue belt eyes, and now through my purple belt eyes. I'm figuring out the minutiae of the detail and going, oh, okay, that's just moving that slightly, but the impact is massive. And whereas before I might not move something slightly because I didn't see it as beneficial. So this is nonsense. After a while, you begin to feel like you haven't learned anything well, and sometimes you and your instructor might both think that you're better off in buying a big gun for yourself for your own self-defense. So you move on. Look, if any of you feel that way, go to a different school. Look out for a legitimate mixed martial arts, not the garage, legitimate mixed martial arts gym with a lineaged kind of instructor. And what I mean by that is that you know where they got their black belt, or that they have a pedigree within their school, right? So some instructors might have come up through some sort of wrestling or any kind of background where there might not be the lineage, but they've learned. For example, what's his name? Famous guy. Can't remember his name now, but he came up through Catch as Catch Can, right? That doesn't have a lineage as such, but you know, you'd want to be learning off him. I forget who it is. I sound like an idiot now, but the repetitiveness may appear to be an ongoing mindless daily exercise. If you feel like that about your gym, move, get on, leave. But on the contrary, we're constantly watching their technique and correcting it immediately. We don't want them to develop any bad habits. They are not just watching a DVD while exercising. This is an intelligent way of exercising by practicing techniques in a correct manner. Well, I've seen your video just before there, Tim, and that's not practicing techniques in a correct manner. Everything was loose as hell there. The constant repetitive exercises teach reinforced strengthen each technique over time, which in other words, muscle memory. Oh God. When it is evident that they are strong enough to demonstrate the technique correctly, will gradually increase weight or intensity, which builds their strength while reinforcing the technique at the same time. This is just the beginning of their mixed martial arts mastery. Oh my God. The mastery in any art or profession still requires continual discipline, practice, and study. Whether your interest lies in mastering the martial arts or improving fitness through martial arts, this innovative exercise program will improve your martial arts skills, your overall fitness, and your confidence. Again, this guy is your fitness guru. Sorry, I'm done. No.